The year is 2012. 25-year-old Jamie Vardy is hard at work. Not on the pitch, in the factory. That's his job. The man only plays non-league football on the weekend. Little does Vardy know, in just a few years, he'll become one of the biggest names in world football. He'll smash records left and right, and go from working class to world class in the craziest run the Premier League has ever seen. A lot of Premier League football superstar stories start out in the streets of Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires or Barcelona. A young talent who dazzles England and brings a young flair to the game nobody expects. This isn't one of those stories. Vardy's story begins in the most down-to-earth, rough-and-tumble English football way possible. Young Vardy grew up in Sheffield, a city far up north in England. Sheffield is nicknamed the Steel City for its history in the industry, but also for the tough, no-nonsense brand of football it can produce. The men of Sheffield are made of stern stuff, and Vardy is no different. His early life is tough. In fact, at this time, his name is Jamie Gill. His biological father walks out on his family early on, leaving his mother to take care of the family all by herself on a humble salary. That's when a man by the name of Phil Vardy stepped up and showed him how a real man cares for those close to him. Phil, a crane worker, married Vardy's mother and provided the support the youngster needed to grow. From then on, Jamie Gill went by the name that would later become a household staple, Jamie Vardy. Growing up, Vardy developed a deep love for football for two very different reasons. On the one hand, he adored the game itself. Playing for Sheffield's Wednesday youth side, Vardy idolized the likes of Dave Hurst, a Wednesday legend, and worked hard to improve every aspect of his game as a forward. On the other hand, Vardy loved the fight of football. Anyone who knows about Sheffield knows about the Steel City Derby, the intense clashes between local rivals Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United. As a Wednesday fan, Vardy loved the moments of passion and heat on the pitch. He looked forward to every derby, eager to taunt the United fans and give them plenty of stick when Wednesday scored. It became a core part of his identity. Vardy was no stranger to a bit of trouble either. Back in 2004, shortly after being released from Wednesday's youth team, he got into a dumb fight outside a pub and ended up on probation. One of the conditions was that he wear an ankle monitor at all times, even on the pitch for the non-league side Stocksbridge Park Steels. Imagine going to watch your local side and the guy who bangs to the goal against your team does it with the same foot, being that has an ankle monitor tied above it. Nobody would believe you, and this was Vardy's reality for a while. The club paid him a mere £30 a week, and he worked in a factory to make ends meet. But soon enough, some football league sides took notice of his skills and athleticism. First came Halifax, where he finished as a top scorer and player of the season with 25 goals in 37 appearances. Then Fleetwood Town wanted a piece of the action. They signed Vardy up, and he got to work right away. By the end of the 2011-2012 season, he had netted a very impressive 31 goals and had helped Fleetwood Town earn their promotion to the Football League for the very first time. This was all well and good, but remember, these are all non-league sides, far away from the likes of even the second division. Vardy is 25 by now, and while he's a good player, he's in the middle of his prime. Chances are good that he'll have to call it quits soon and focus on his day job. That's when an opportunity arises, one that Vardy knows he'll never see again. A chance. It's now or never. Vardy, clinical as he is, takes it. Back in 2012, most English football fans wouldn't have been able to tell you much about Leicester City. Their yo-yo club, the more informed would tell you. Who? Most would say. The club had spent a long time bouncing between the Premier League and the Championship, sometimes even dipping into the third division. Sick of this inconsistency, the club are looking for ways to get into the top flight and stay there. Foxes are known for being clever, so rather than go for the highly contested top talent, Leicester decided to sniff around the lower leagues and see if they can find some hidden gems for cheap. That's when they come across Vardy. While looking for silver, they find gold. Vardy, delighted by the prospect of playing in the second division, agrees immediately to a contract and got playing. But here's the thing, the jump from non-league to championship is massive. The physicality, athleticism and quality of defenders in this league are levels above what Vardy's used to. He falls out of form big time, and the insane goal tallies he was racking up before turn into goal draughts. The Leicester fans aren't impressed. Right now, Vardy's looking more like copper than silver, let alone gold. Plus, he's already in his later years, so there isn't much hope that he'll turn his fortunes around. Even Vardy himself has his doubts. He thinks it might be time to move on from the professional championship club. Two men, however, see things differently. Nigel Pearson, Leicester's manager, and Craig Shakespeare, his assistant. They see potential in the striker. Give yourself another season, they tell him. Back yourself. So Vardy did just that. The results? Total domination. Vardy comes out swinging the following 2013-14 season, banging in goal after goal. His week goal tally of 4 from the 2012-13 season skyrockets to 16 in 2013-14, and he plays a huge part in Leicester's rise to the top of the championship. Fans go from criticising Vardy to loving him. It isn't just his goals. They can't get enough of Vardy's antics on the pitch. He's a total wind-up, celebrating in front of away fans like he's still playing non-league sides. He brings a rugged strength to the league that a lot of fans aren't used to. A proper shithouse through and through.
Goal in his last 4 starts.
Leicester earned their promotion and Vardy is named Player of the Season. It's a big accomplishment for the club, and an even bigger one for Vardy. From a non-league nobody past his prime to a striker competing at the very top of the English football pyramid, it's safe to say most of us would be more than proud if we were in his shoes. Imagine telling him at the time that this is only the beginning of his journey to total stardom. The Premier League, the toughest league in the world. This is it. Vardy's made it to the very top, but his work is far from over. Remember, Leicester are looking to stay in this league. For a newly promoted side, that's easier said than done. Most go right back down, so surviving for a few years will be a big challenge for the team. Vardy might have been a don playing for the likes of Halifax, and he might have even been a top player in the Championship. But the Premier League is a whole other beast entirely. When he steps out onto the pitch, Vardy will be facing off against international superstars, not local electricians. He'd be under the lights of the biggest stadiums in the country, not in back gardens. Anfield, Old Trafford, the Emirates, Stamford Bridge, these are grounds that have swallowed up players and spit them out. Can Vardy and Leicester make it out alive? The first season in the top flight is a whirlwind to the senses for this Leicester team. They fight tooth and nail every game to rack up points, but the brutality of the league is unlike anything they've ever seen. Vardy can't muscle his way through defenders quite the same way he did in the Championship. Still, there are some shining moments. Though he only scores 5 goals in the 2014-15 season, they come at really important moments. 3-1 down against Man United, Vardy's performance pushes the Foxes to come back and blam the Red Devils 5-3 with a goal for himself to boot. A 90-minute late winner against West Brom, another winner against Burnley, and a number of critical assists prove vital in the relegation battle. Leicester finished 14th, 4 places clear of the drop zone. It's more than enough. Survival is all the Foxes are after, and they get it. Job done. Time to plan for the coming 2015-16 season. Again, Leicester's chief goal is to stay up. The board would like to see some improvements, of course, and push up the table. But the main objective is still to stay in the top flight. Vardy, however, doesn't get the memo. There must have been some miscommunication in the changing room because the 28-year-old striker doesn't step out onto the pitch and play like he's in the Premier League. Vardy plays like he's in another dimension. August 29th, start of the 2015-2016 season. Leicester are unbeaten in 4 games. Vardy scored against Sunderland and assisted 2 goals against West Ham and Tottenham to earn 2 wins and a draw. But now, they're a goal down to Bournemouth away. That's when Vardy, crafty as ever, bursts into the box. Bournemouth defender bring him down and Leicester win a penalty. Vardy steps up to the spot, takes a deep breath, and absolutely blasts it away. The game ends 1-1. Leicester keep their unbeaten run going. All's looking good. Nobody knows it, but this is the start of the craziest period in the history of the Premier League. September 13th, home to Aston Villa. Leicester made an incredible comeback from 2-0 down to win the match 3-2. Who scores the 82nd minute equaliser with a clean close-range touch? You guessed it, Vardy. September 19th away to Stoke, tough ground, and Leicester are 2-0 down yet again. But Vardy knows tough times his whole life, and he makes it 2-2 in the 69th minute with a brilliant bit of forward play, shrugging off the defender like he's swatting a fly. September 26th, home to Arsenal. Vardy starts things off quickly, but with a lovely tight finish to give Leicester the lead. It's another goal for him. But Arsenal proved too much and come back to smash the Foxes 5-2 by full time. Bad luck, but not the end of the world. October 3rd, away to Norwich, Vardy terrorises the Norwich defenders and scores a penalty, making it a staggering 5 goals in a row for the striker. Leicester win 2-1 and go 4th. October 17th, away to Southampton, Leicester again are 2-0 down in the second half. Surely this time they've sunk? Nope. Vardy just doesn't know when to quit. A perfect header followed by a rocket strike makes it 2-2. Vardy's the hero, and that's the 6th game in a row he's scored. This is the moment where everyone takes a step back and realizes 2 things. Hold on, some say, are Leicester title contenders this season? It sounds mad, but they're in, and about the top sides. If they keep coming back like this, they might have a chance. Hold on, more say. Is Jamie Vardy going to break a Premier League record? Ruud van Nistelrooy, a Man United legend, holds the record for the highest number of goals scored in consecutive games in the Premier League. 10 in total. It's an incredible feat. Vardy is now on 6. Not a million miles off, but still. That said, Vardy's a late bloomer, a striker playing for Leicester. Van Nistelrooy was a top talent playing for one of the best Premier League sides ever. Surely there's no way a guy like Vardy can match his record. Well, the games go on. October 24th, home to Palace. A cheeky chip over the keeper by Vardy makes it 1-0 to Leicester. That's 7 in a row. The United fans are starting to worry. October 31st, away to West Brom. Vardy goes down injured during the game, and everyone thinks his run is over. But the man of steel powers on and hits West Brom on the break, slotting it in the corner to make it 3-1 to Leicester, and 8 in a row for Vardy. In true Vardy fashion, the striker cups his ears and winds up the home fans who were sure they'd have the last laugh. November 7th, home to Watford, another injury scare. No problem, Vardy keeps on playing, determined to keep his run going. A penalty secures the run for him, 2-1 to Leicester, 9 for Vardy. This is unbelievable stuff. November 21st, away to Newcastle. This is the big one. Can Vardy do it? Can he not only send Leicester to the top of the table, an incredible feat by itself, but equal Van Nistelrooy's record? Is the sky blue? Receiving the ball on the edge of the box, he cuts inside and puts it away perfectly to score his 10th in a row. Record matched, Vardy's on the moon. Now the big question comes up, the one nobody dared to even think about asking: can Vardy beat the record? Man United fans are desperate to deny him the honour, and as luck would have it, Leicester's next game is home to the Red Devils. It's been a crazy, unbelievable few months. Leicester, a club stuck in the Championship just a couple of years ago, sit top of the Premier League. Vardy, a guy who had a monitor tied around his ankle only a decade ago or so, is now set to make English football history. The ref blows his whistle. The first 20 or so minutes go by. It's a tense, cagey game. Then Fuchs plays a ball so perfectly, a striker could only dream of it. Vardy makes the run. It's now or never. Vardy takes a touch. He's on the right side of the defender. He lines up his shot, and he takes it. De Gea goes down to save it, but it's too late. The ball slips through his legs and ends up in the back of the net. The Leicester fans lose their minds. Vardy goes mad. It's 11 heaven for Jamie Vardy. He's just shattered the record and made himself both a club and English legend. United claw back a goal to make it 1-1, and the game ends in a draw, but it hardly matters. So ends the craziest period in Premier League history, when a man who was working in a factory 4 years ago shows the entire country, the world, that it's never too late to make your dreams come true. 11 in a row, with plenty of grit and taunting along the way. A record that might never be beaten. Hold on, some Sheffield United fans might say. Technically, our boy Jimmy Dunn scored 12 in the English top flight before the Premier League started back in 1930. It's true, though Vardy holds the Premier League record for consecutive goals, he's still 1 goal short for the all-time record. Sheffield United fans, his long-time rivals, get the last laugh. Ah well, Vardy thinks to himself, guess I'll just have to win the Premier League itself instead. It never pays to bet against Jamie Vardy.